Hello and welcome to the VOP Business Show. I am Choma Innocent. The Nigerian federal government has notified professional bodies and councils that it will cease to fund them from the 2024 budget in line with the recommendations of the Orosanye Committee report and the recent Presidential Committee on Salaries. The decision is part of the federal government's efforts to cut down on the cost of governance in Nigeria, which is currently one of the highest in the world. The move is expected to affect several professional bodies and councils, including the Optometrist and Dispensing Optics Board and the Nigerian Council of Food, Science and Technology, which will now have to be self-funded. The Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Ben Akabweze, conveyed the message via memos sent to the professional bodies, informing them that the Presidential Committee on Salaries had approved the discontinuation of the budgetary allocation to professional bodies and councils effective from January 1st, 2024. The federal government has been under pressure to cut down on the cost of governance in Nigeria, which has been a major challenge for the country. The cost of governance in Nigeria is currently one of the highest in the world, with a large percentage of the country's budget being spent on salaries and allowances for public officials. The government has been exploring various options to address the issue, including the downsizing of the civil service and the rationalization of government agencies and the parastatals. Meanwhile, the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, has cancelled its planned 40% tariff hike that was set to take effect on July 1st. The AEDC had earlier announced that the new tariff would reflect the inflation rate and exchange rate as well as the cost of gas for power generation. However, the decision to cancel the tariff hike was made after a meeting between the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission directed all the distribution companies, DISCOs, to suspend the implementation of the new tariff until the ongoing review of the tariff structure is completed. The company appealed to its customers to disregard the planned tariff increase as approval for such an increment had not been received. The review is expected to be concluded by the end of July. The AEDC in the statement encouraged customers with prepaid meters to consider purchasing bulk energy as it is before the end of June, as this would allow them to take advantage of the current rates and make savings before the new tariff came into effect. Meanwhile, oil marketers have projected that the pump price of petrol could rise above 700 naira per litre in northern Nigeria starting from July. The National Controller of Operations of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Mike Osatuyi, told the newsmen on Wednesday that prices could rise to above 700 naira in the north once independent marketers start importing products from July. He said while those living in the northern state could pay as much as 700 naira and above for 1 litre of petrol, those outside Lagos should expect to pay around 610 naira, as residents in Lagos would pay about 600 naira per litre. The downstream sector currently awaits fresh petroleum products as the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA) continues to license operators willing to get involved in the importation business. The Executive Secretary of the Depot and the Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria, Olufemi Adewale, told the Punch on Tuesday that the NMDPRA was currently licensing more importers. He said arrangements were on full speed for fresh products from July, adding that prices of products will depend on market fundamentals. A former chairman of the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, Moman, and also Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the 11 PLC, Tunji Oyebanji, said consumers should expect new pump prices close to that of diesel and those of neighboring African countries that also import petrol. Now, Nigeria's inability to meet the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries (OPEC) crude oil allocation of 1.74 million barrels per day and only drilling between 1 million barrels and 1.3 million barrels this year could have a negative impact on the country's trade balance and revenue. The country's over-reliance on oil exports, accounting for about 90% of its foreign exchange earnings, leaves it vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices, which are expected to trade lower in the coming months due to weakening global demand. This was noted in the June edition of the Economic Update by the Lagos-based Financial Derivatives Company. The Financial Derivatives Company FDC also stated that the oil production cut by the OPEC and its allies, as well as the uncertainty surrounding the global economy, could further impact Nigeria's oil revenue. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has disbursed over 1.3 billion naira to 303 injured and deceased personnel from 2021 to date. The disbursements were made under the Staff Welfare and Group Personnel Accident (GPA) policy of the Corps, which provides support to its personnel and their families in times of need. According to the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) insurance payment statistics, the Corps recorded 424 benefit claims and 121 backlogs. A breakdown of the sum paid indicated that more than 35 million naira was paid to personnel with various degrees of injuries, 260 million naira as backlog, and more than 78 million naira paid as burial benefits to the next of kin of deceased personnel. The Corps Public Relations Director Olushola Odumoso made the insurance payment statistics record available to newsmen, and it shows that the NSCDC is providing the necessary support to its personnel and their families. And that's all on the VOP Business Show right here on Voice of the People Television. We would like you to subscribe and engage us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV. And on other social media platforms, it is at VOP TV Live. Thank you for watching. I am Chioma Innocent.